I got my brother out here with me, man. We're gonna talk about a very important topic today. What's going on, King? King Parts out
Peace
here.
indeed, peace indeed. I'm alive, good energy, good weather. I couldn't say it better myself.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, let's get right to it, man.
Okay.
Child support. What's the first thoughts that come to your mind when you hear child support?
Drama.
Mm.
Drama. That's the first word that comes to my head because, a lot of people don't understand that child support doesn't really support the child. It supports the government that the child is a part of. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Child support should just be co-parenting. It should be, a relationship between a mom and dad. That's it. It shouldn't involve the government. So when you get to a place where you're using child support, and a lot of people don't even recognize that you don't even get all of those funds. You get a small portion of whatever the woman or man is paying for child support. The parent that's receiving it
Right.
gets a small portion.
So, and that's a very good point. I'm glad you brought that up. So, if I'm sending out a $200 payment to my child's mother, she doesn't get that full $200.
No, she may get 85
Wow.
of that.
And a lot of people are not aware of that.
Right.
So where is that rest of that other money, portion of that money going?
They charging you fees for
Mm.
the counselor, the mediator, or whoever's over that case.
Right.
They're charging a fee for just having child support, and they got all kinds of loopholes
Right.
to be able to take percentages of that money. But just know that the parent does not get the full $200. If you paying $200, they don't get that $200.
So the system is basically like nothing is free.
Nothing's
So
free.
we're charging you for our services to babysit your relationship or mediate you grown folks. So we got to charge you. You're gonna have to pay for that.
Right, not even the relationship, the well-being of the
Child.
which they shouldn't have to do, because if you have peace between two parents and they're able to co-parent together, that means when you pay $200 to her or him, they're getting $200.
Right. And it's so crazy, man. Because I've been in situations where guys be like, I talked to my child's mother and she know I'm a good dad, and she know I'll send the money without the pressure of the system.
Mm-hmm.
So why do the woman feel like a need to keep the system involved?
Well, and this is not bashing women.
Mhm.
I just say women because 98.5% of the time it's a woman putting a man on child support.
Most of the time, correct.
So now a lot of women do that because either the man is not doing what he's supposed to in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
or either something happened emotionally
Facts.
where they want to kind of use child support as a vindictive weapon.
True.
I've seen it happen time after time, so I'm not bashing women.
Right.
I'm actually speaking on facts.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm upset with you. We're not together anymore. So I'm gonna put you on child support.
Mm.
And the reason I say it's a vindictive weapon is because why would you want the government to get involved versus me giving you $150
Mm-hmm.
against me giving the government $150 and you only getting $75?
Right. You're not even seeing the full amount.
Right. So
So
it's got to be a vindictive weapon.
Right.
Either that or they're not educated enough on what child support is.
Or what it truly is.
Right.
And I understand, the pain far as, let's say, if the relationship don't work out, or a brother really hurted them, what I'm saying? I understand whereas they feel like they need to do that. They shouldn't, but I understand it though, and it has to be other ways to release instead of going to the system feeling like they need to get back. And like you said, I think that results to communication, talking to other sisters about it, or just find a different outlet instead of running to the system, because the system is not going to do the parents any good or the child.
Well, the system is just that, a system. And in any system, you have components. So the components within the child support system are, two people can't get along.
Mm-hmm.
It's a control factor where, okay, I feel like I'm losing control, so now I want the government to step in and take control. You see what I'm saying? So,
Right.
You know, but I have to agree to disagree. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to say I understand, because I don't. Because, you know, whether we like each other or not, mom and a dad,
Mm-hmm.
the kid has nothing to do with that.
Right.
So when you get the courts involved and you get the government involved, you are now putting a microscope on that kid's life. At some point, the government is going to say something to that child and involve them at some point between the ages of 0 and 18.
Right.
Now, statistics say between the ages of 0 to 18, right now, 2018, you're going to spend at least $350,000
Wow.
on one child.
That makes sense.
From the age of 0 to 18. Now let's
18.
talk numbers.
Wow.
350,000.
Right.
Now that's two parents together.
Right.
Okay, now do this. Do the math. Say y'all separate, right? So now that's kind of like, if you do it co-parent, and co-parent means 50%.
Right.
Half.
Right.
So now, if you co-parent, now that means that you're responsible for 175 of that 350.
Absolutely.
Right?
Correct.
Now, if you put a man on child support, how much of that 175,000 do you think
you
he
actually
get?
gonna see?
You know, maybe 20 or 30.
Because the system gonna get
The
theirs.
system is gonna get it, and
It's a hustle. They gonna get
right.
theirs.
And the same thing with the lottery.
Right.
The more you win, the more they take. So now, if you're co-parenting and you're both divided, the more one of the individuals pay,
Right.
the more the government's gonna take.
Wow.
So it just makes sense to have peace and to
How do we get peace, brother? How do we, what's your message to these young kings out here? Well, we was once young kings, because when I was young, when I was lusting, I didn't have knowledge of self. I lacked education, and that led to me making some bad decisions. And me not knowing myself didn't make sure that I investigate who I was procreating with, and building with, and that led to a lot of chaos and a lot of confusion, and that spilled onto my kids being impacted by that. So
to the youth, I would say, if you're not sexually involved, don't. Take your time.
Take your time. Absolutely.
Stay pure until it's time.
That's right.
Until you meet that person that you can definitely coincide with, and you can have a spiritual connection with and a bond.
Absolutely.
Now, if you are sexually active, don't make a child until you've released your inner child.
Because good stuff.
The only way to raise a king is to become a king.
Absolutely.
The only way to raise a queen is to become a queen. And I think the major issue is a lot of women and men get advice from the same sex about the opposite sex. Like why would a woman ask another woman about a man?
Right.
That's a biased opinion.
Right.
If I want to know about a woman, if I got questions about a woman, I ask my sister. I call and ask my mother. I call and ask my cousin, auntie. Because now I want a woman's perspective.
That's a good point. Yep.
If a woman asks her friend, say they're in the hair salon,
right,
and she says, "Oh, girl, me and him done broke up, da 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 da, and we're not together. We don't talk anymore." He needs to do what he needs to do for Davon. Guess what her friend gonna say? Girl, put him on child support. She's saying that with a biased opinion.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? But guess what a guy gonna tell her? A guy is gonna tell her, like, listen, you need to go to him and talk to him.
Absolutely.
Tell him this is how much you need monthly.
Monthly.
Tell him this is how much you're gonna put in monthly.
Mm-hmm.
And work out some kind of schedule where he can spend time with the child.
Absolutely.
And you can spend time with the child.
Absolutely.
That's how it should be.
That's how
that's
it
where
should
the peace
be,
comes
man.
in.
That's where peace comes in.
That's where peace comes in.
For the whole dynamic for man, woman, and child.
Right.
Absolutely.
See, it's hard to go back to being humanitarian towards somebody that you've been with sexually.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where we at.
Right.
That's where we at.
Right.
Even though you two separated and you're not together anymore,
Right.
you still should embrace humanity.
Right.
And be humble when you talk to this person.
Absolutely.
That's not your enemy.
Right.
Now, what's in a person may enemize people, but
yes.
that's not your enemy.
That's not your enemy.
That's you co-parent with this person.
Right.
That's the mother or father of your child.
Of a child. Yep.
So, that's the place where we got to get back to. We got to get back to being, positive people. We got to create an energy that's perpetual. And, it's got to be continuous. Because guess what? In the midst of that perpetual energy is going to be the child. The child is going to be the center of that.
Right. Absolutely. And they're going to absorb, and like you said, they're sponges. They're going to absorb all energy that we shed from our spirits.
Exactly.
From man and woman. Absolutely. And it's going to transfer to them.
And believe it or not, it's a generational curse.
It is.
Because if your child sees both parents not getting along, and your child sees he's being shuffled back and forth to the dad, to the mom, to the dad, to the mom.
Right.
And then it's even to the point now where some parents would tell their child, the child to say, Mom, I want a pair of shoes. Well, wait till you get your child support check.
Wow.
It's becoming like
that's crazy.
Something that's embraced as
they normalizing it. Right, it's come normal. That's crazy.
I remember hearing that.
That's crazy.
Well, when you get your child support check, you can get some shoes out of that. That's not.
That's crazy.
That's not normal. That shouldn't be normal.
Now, and I know now a lot of brothers, and I've heard stories like this. Brothers choose to work off the books. I've seen brothers say, I ain't getting on there. They ain't getting nothing for me. I'm running. Catch me if you can. What do you think about that? What's your perspective on that?
I don't agree with that either.
Me either.
Because if you're not cheating the system, you're cheating your child.
Absolutely. I heard that. Also, the deadbeat term, does that go for man and woman?
Yes. Yes. Because guess what? Only thing that separates men and women is your sexual components. We're both alike. We're alike. We have a likeness. That's why they say when you marry somebody, you become one. One. Because we have a likeness.
Likeness, right.
So if I can be a deadbeat, then you can too. And that's one of the things I respect about my son's mom. We're not together.
Right.
We haven't been together since 2006. And we co-parent fine. I'm not on child support.
That's awesome.
I'm not on child support. You know why? Because I sat down and I kind of explained to her what that would do to me.
Right.
And what that would do to us.
Right.
I'm like, listen, I'd rather give you 100% of what I can afford.
Right.
Than you getting 35%.
Absolutely.
Of what I'm giving.
Right.
Because guess what? If you're only gonna get 35% of it, then I might as well keep majority of it. I might as well keep 65% of it.
Mm,
The 65 that the government is gonna take,
exactly.
I might as well keep it.
It's crazy.
So, you know, we need to do away with child support.
Yes, we do.
You know, to
It's-
anybody out there that's looking at this and that's listening, listen, if you need me to be the mediator, call me up. You know, call me up. I'm
King
serious.
Parts, man. You can follow
I
boy
will-
Stephen Parts on Facebook.
Yeah.
Inbox him if you know if you need help. You know,
I'm everywhere.
I'll
IG, Instagram,
yeah, that's
Instagram,
right.
Twitter. I'm everywhere. Hey, tweet
You know,
me.
if you
tweet.
need help, just piecing together and finding peace. That's the main goal. Helping
Right.
some direction to find peace.
Because don't get me
Right.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. Not everybody's meant to be together.
Of course,
Sometimes it happens.
it happens.
So, but at the same time, remember, you're not helping the child. You're hurting the child. Child support is not support. Child support is another crutch the government is using to support whatever they need funds for. Remember that. You know,
No doubt.
work it out. Try to work it out first, you know, without getting the government involved. Now, you got some knuckleheads that still don't want to do right.
Yeah.
Hey, if you get
And-
to a point like that, then do what you got to do.
And do you think, being you saying that, do you think Peter pays for Paul? Now the knuckleheads that'll fall. Good fathers get the backlash of knuckleheads acting up. Peter pays for Paul. Do you
That's up
think?
to the good fathers. Because I'm not going to make no excuses. I'm not going
Right.
to let you put me in a category I don't belong in. So that's up to the good fathers to step up and to represent the good fathers.
That's it, no doubt.
I know how to separate myself from the bad fathers
Right,
because I had a bad father.
right.
You know, my father still doesn't, you know, really embrace me.
Right.
I didn't know him until I was 11 years old.
Mm,
And I've done nothing but want to be just like him.
right.
Our birthday is on the same day every year.
Wow.
And I tell him happy birthday every year. He's never told me happy birthday. I'm 36 years old.
Wow.
You know, we've never spent a birthday together. He's never told me I love you. And these are things I tell him. You know why? Because embracing him and doing what I do towards him helps me be a better father. to
Oh,
my son.
absolutely. That's awesome.
Now I know what not to do
No, not to do. Absolutely.
and what I need to do.
That's awesome.
You know, so I know how to separate myself. So I don't care what category falls about. You know, I'm not gonna allow myself to be in that category.
Right,
You know, you got thugs and you got gentlemen.
right.
I don't allow myself to be put in a certain category. I am what I am. I'm cut from a different cloth. You understand what I'm saying? I'm me.
Wow.
You know, and me being a king, I'm me.
Right,
I'm not the same as the next man.
right.
So, you know, that's what I would say about that.
That's what's up, King. Can you say something for me? Support your child to the camera.
Support your child. Support your child. Do right by your child. Do right by the parent, whether it's a man or a woman. Work together. Have peace. You know, understand that the child you may be looking at, the child you may be waking up in the morning, that's going to be your legacy. That's going to be your future.
That's important.
Support the child. Don't embrace child support.
That's what's up. Perfect.